And welcome back with the Daily Wrap. Let's check in with our own Steve Malzberg and see what he has planned for tonight. Steve!
Joe, Roland Martin will be here. He has a lot to say about Donald Trump and the Republicans. We'll hear from Larry Kudlow on Donald Trump's economic policy. Ron Kessler on the two Donald Trumps. I think you'll find that interesting. Two Malzberg panels, and it's coming your way next, right after the Daily Wrap.
All right, Steve, thank you. Before we get to our next segment, we've been checking out social media while we were in break, and it appears that we have a winner, at least in the Twitter sphere. Nomi, who won the first debate according to the Twitter?
According to the Twitter, Carly Fiorina is dominating my Twitter. Yeah. And I follow Republicans, Democrats, you know, conservative reporters and
One Direction.
mainstream. Yeah, I'm a One Direction. Greg Gutfeld says this chick, Carly Fiorina, is doing pretty good for a skirt. Is a totally unacceptable comment that I strongly condemn. Okay, that was interesting. That's the one that stood out. Katie Pavlich is all for Carly Fiorina. It's really, you know, quite surprising.
I'm seeing the same thing on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Apparently, she really did impress a lot of people.
If you win that debate, you get to head the EPA, right? Yeah. That's what happens if you win that debate.
Or you get the vice presidential nod. Just a thought.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
Maybe.
I mean, she's a woman, so clearly.
The big line actually was not her zinging the Rick Perry or the aforementioned Gilmore, but she went after Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in the same breath.
Should it be like a golf tournament where if she's declared the winner, she gets an exemption into the big debate the next time?
That's how it should work.
Yeah.
Is that a sports thing I don't get?
It's a golf tournament, right? If you
exactly.
If you win, you get an exemption.
But explain that line when she took on Trump and Clinton in the same breath, and I thought it was the zinger of the debate as far as not getting invited to any weddings.
Right. She hasn't donated to the Clinton Foundation. As Donald Trump did, so she's, you know, what did she say? She's on stage. You're putting me on the spot here. I can't remember the quote. But basically, she attacked him and said, you know, if I haven't donated to the Clinton Foundation,
in honor of this, you're supposed to say "oops" now.
Oops now.
Oops.
Right.
Like Rick Perry did.
Like Rick Perry.
Anyway, a new Zogby poll shows that almost half of Democrats want this guy to run for president.
And Neil Smith, an old buddy. Are you here, Neil? Neil, I miss you, man. I miss you.
His last-minute economic plan does nothing to tackle the #1 job facing the middle class, and it happens to be, as Barack says, a three-letter word: jobs. J-O-B-S.
And to the U.S. Senate as well for their trust and confidence. We've got a lot of thanks to give out here. First and foremost to my perfect wife, Stephanie.
Now is the time to heed the timeless advice from Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick. I promise you.
In terms of foreclosure, in terms of bad loans that were being, these Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. It's a brilliant. I'm not joking.
Every time I hear that.
The greatest hits, man.
Yeah, I never heard the big stick one before, but I don't doubt it in any capacity.
I think he said that on purpose.
Yeah, well, I think once he was going down that road, decided to go all the way.
Yeah.
But could you imagine anything that Joe Biden just said there, and that comes out of, pick somebody, Ted Cruz's mouth.
Yeah.
Right? Cruz would have been shipped out of the country.
Oh, I'd like him a whole lot better.
I know you would.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that he gets away with it because it's Joe being Joe. Just like Donald Trump gets away with things, he says as well, because he is seen as a genuine person, and it's not done in any malicious way. It's just Joe being Joe.
It's a little hokey too. Like, I think he has this. There's this like, I'm from a different generation. This is how we speak. But he also has gravitas. The difference between making a gaffe as a Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio or any of these other guys is that they didn't have the Senate Foreign Relations Committee or the Judiciary Committee or I
so you're allowed to be an idiot if you headed the Senate.
No idiot.
I just try to follow rules.
Would you like a script? Would you rather him scripted?
From a skirt.
Speaking of scripts, let's go back into one. That's right, Uncle Joe is getting some serious support to run. If the gaffe-prone Veep runs for president, Hillary Clinton's 46% lead over socialist Bernie Sanders drops to 31%, and Biden comes in with 21% of the vote. That's before he's even declared, of course. Obviously, Clinton has a big lead, but as Zogby pointed out, quote, when majorities of Hispanic, African American, and single voters say they want Mr. Biden to enter, it suggests that Clinton has a problem still generating some enthusiasm among the key Obama coalition. Two questions, Rick. Will he run, and should he run?
I think he should run. I don't know if he will run. That's my best assessment.
Okay, quickly.
He's gonna run.
Yeah, I think he'll run.
We are in agreement. 3.5, he will run. I agree. I agree. Okay, so does Bernie Sanders have a shot to take the Democratic nomination? Shifting gears for a moment, go to newsmaxtv.com/comments, or does Joe Biden, for that matter? Coming up, the White House have they seen the Planned Parenthood videos? Well, they say no. Bye.